This here is one of the feed bags that we get feed for our sheep in, and those people that are on land, you probably find that if you've got stock, you end up with a few feed bags like this around the place. It's probably a couple of years ago now, we started growing potatoes in these, and that stopped us from getting a lot of weedy potatoes in the garden. And then this year, I thought, let's have a bit of a crack at putting sweet potatoes in these. And I've just picked down in the garden the most incredible haul that I managed to grow in just the small area that one of these rolled down creates. So I'm going to show you what I just picked, because I am really excited to share how much we got out of just this one small space from one of these bags. I've just come for a bit of a wander outside. I'm just meandering around with a cuppa actually. I hadn't actually planned to pick anything, but I'm looking here at this sweet potato plant, and even though our other ones are not quite ready to pick yet, this one here is really dying back now. And I am worried that with this wet weather we're having this weekend, if I leave this too much longer, I might actually end up losing some of the sweet potatoes in here and they might start rotting. So what I'm going to do is actually pull this out. Now thankfully it is right next to our compost bay, so what I'm going to do is actually dump the soil that's in there into the compost, and that'll help enrich it again. And I will be throwing away this feed bag that I've grown this sweet potato in. There's a bit of a learning with this one. This is the second year that I've used this one, and you can see that is degrading, and I do not want little bits of plastic all through my garden, so I'll definitely be turfing that one. And I guess the learning in that is that I really should be only using these for 1 year. They just aren't UV stable, and yeah, 1 year of growing is great, but yeah, you don't get two. Anyway, I'm going to quit rambling and I'm going to pull this sweet potato out and see how much we got in this bag. Okay, I've got a pot, because what I'm going to do is I am actually going to grab this part of the sweet potato. I am going to replant that and put it in the greenhouse, which means I also need my pruners. And it is a bit wet today and muddy, so I am going to use the gloves today. All right, let's bring you in. Now, because I want to replant this bit here, what I'm going to do is just chop back some of these vines, and I'm just doing it above where there's some of the nodes. And the hope is if I plant this in a pot and pop it into the greenhouse, that yeah, that'll survive our winter, and hopefully that'll take off again and I can replant it outside once our next spring comes. Okay. Ooh, I like what's coming with that. Check out that one. That's going to be good for eating. All right, let's chop that off. And is there anything else attached? Lots of little bits there. We need to chop that one too. And all I'm going to do is just pop that in the pot, and I'll probably add a bit of this dirt and a bit of other goodness from in here in a second. Alright, what I do want to do is have a look at what else we've got in here. Move some of that aside, and all of this from the sweet potato, that'll actually go into our compost as well. But hopefully there's more than just that potato in here. Alright, I am going to put you down so that I can drag this over, because I do want to empty that out in the compost area. That'll help enrich that material, and this has already got some poop in there from our sheep poop that we've scraped up from the woodshed area. There's leaves and things like that, so that'll all enrich that material, and then I'll be able to replant with that again once we get to spring. awesome. That wasn't exactly the most glamorous way to get it around here, I know, but it was actually catching on the edge of the metal. Whew. Right, hopefully there's still some more. Woohoo! There's more! Wow! This is a great haul, let me bring you in. Check this out. This is done amazing. There's another one. Another one. What a haul. Whoop. Throwing them away now. Look at the size of this one. Wow. How cool is that? I'm getting puffed. Oh. Is there any more? So it's good to have a good dig through. I think that might be all of them. Oh wow. I am so happy with those. Alright, I've got a little bit of dirt to get back in here, and obviously we need to turn that around a bit as well, just to mix all the organics back with that dirt I've pulled out. But you can see this was really, really nice material, and that was actually largely compost that we'd made. And I think I put a little bit of I think there was some old potting mix as well that I put in there as well, but that material's great, and you can see what incredible sweet potatoes that's grown just from that tiny little bag that we had. That's awesome. All right, I'm going to take those inside and I'm going to weigh those so we can see exactly how much sweet potato we just got out of this one bag. Wow. Just giving them all a bit of a wash. So I'm going to take them inside and give them away, but I tell you what, that feels nice and heavy. Alrighty, let's see what they weigh. $5.7. Not too bad, considering that was one tiny little feed bag. It's produced all of those, and realistically I probably could have eaten the other one that we just replanted as well, but yeah, so it's probably about 6 kilos of yield realistically. The seat here is going to be our makeshift drying rack, because I don't want to put these away in the study until they're all nice and dry. Once they are, I'll just pop them in there, just in one of the cardboard boxes, in the same way we've got the other things like our pumpkins. But honestly, being the first of the year, we will be getting into these and eating them fairly soon. Even though you're probably supposed to leave them a little while for the sugars to develop, they still taste pretty good when you pick them and you eat them straight off. So there we go, there's our sweet potatoes that we picked, and I am so excited about how many we just got from that super small area, just using the feed bag. And we still have a lot of areas of sweet potatoes still to pick. I've got the ones that are in the garden bed, like the raised one that hubby built, and that's got the purple ones in there and the white ones with the purple skins as well. I've got some down in the greenhouse in the normal area that I've showed you before that we grow them in, the box kind of planter area that we've got. And I've even got, there's a big pot in there as well. I actually grew lots of sweet potatoes in lots of different ways this year. So this is obviously just the first, but what I'll do is in our next garden update, I'll throw in a few updates as well in terms of how the other areas have gone and what actually ended up producing the best. But for now, that is a really good start. Hopefully you enjoyed following along in this unexpected share and seeing what we got out of that one small feed bag. And if you've got a few laying around, maybe it's something you want to have a bit of a go at too. As always, thanks so much for joining. Catch you later.